All right, good evening. It's here for enumerate yada nyamia CBM na yada muhina so ase for the time wa debia no munya na di financial program no dwumadie no. It is so amazing looking at the support in the idea the year 2022 it's been great. Na nyame adom yasan ababiem for 2023. 2023 we have so much planned for and also when you look at financial it's pretty much the same topics now, but all the time there are some changes, new updates, new information yepese yeba na yeni no yesha nti yebedi kam Dr. Ua Akwaba, Penny Isaac, and so trying to get on into no enchebia also ever join here. But the decan ye happy new year to all our viewers for 2022 and also 2023 and beyond. Ye be a happy new year. And Doug, yabema wama yatie for so Akwaba as we begin the new year.
I was for mature New Year, hopefully, bit me get back on track to keep things going. Mature
Yeah, thank you so much for your financial premier financial program na debia da no ya de ebremo no ya da mo asenso se munya daje na mu join in anytime be ya beba habia no mu join in na what helps as I think so we've said it so many, what helps with this program questions bebra in fact beba. When we look at 2022, you're touching on so many things.
Yes.
You have questions. What started the year, Juma? What do stage be? We hear how to proceed, or you have some questions. Be a certain things. Be a war year. Be koye. Be unkoye. The no. I mean, you can share with us. Any idea no. So obia opportunity to be able to do that. But today, being the first time share for this year, like what we do is we meet, we have goals. Some of us have like resolutions in terms of things that they want to achieve for this year. A bit obebo modern say obe lose weight, a bit also gain weight, obe so the say or saving more, a bit that so many depending on your situation. You come up with like different goals near there. It's the same thing when it comes into our finances. Every time you need to take the time to evaluate where you are, where you want to go, and how you want to get there. Very, very important because last year you touched on so many topics about some of us, we don't even know the amount of income between the husband and the wife, we don't even know. But it is time, sir, we need as a family, like the beginning of the year, to sit down and plan and come up with strategies in terms of some of the mistakes that we made in the past. How do we change, like going forward? So today is just like an overview. As a family, as an individual, what do I do? What are some of the things that are important, necessary, that we need to start with? Because if you don't start right, it will hurt you for like the rest of the year. Into one of the things that we want to look at, your W4, starting with our employment. Thankfully, or maybe maybe a bioha would need a juma like right now, but eventually no empire and say ubenyabi. So what do you need to do? So we were Juma last year, Nyame adom afena wie enche your W2s be my. The question is, do I need to make changes? Where does that changes start from? Oh, a lot of us no W4 no, and no any determine that the amount of taxes your friends that needs to come out of our paycheck. And now no IRS assistant you may be brain to know ne failing no, it's not as easy as it used to be. It's a little bit complicated like right now. And I have seen where a lot of us we've made mistakes. The withholdings now are very, very small. A baby as now aboka. Until here we are, and we want to help to be able to help complete that form. Doug, as we begin this year, one of the things we want to start with is to start, especially with our employment, we want to start right. So what advice can you give to our viewers in terms of W4 and some of the things that we need to look out for as we complete that form?
Yeah, I mean, the W4 is definitely a very important form to fill out and to fill out correctly. As you mentioned, it can definitely cost you if it's not done properly, right? And I think even before we shift our focus to the W4, right, is to really figure out what did we do wrong last year, right? What mistakes did we make when it comes to different areas of our lives, not just our finances, right? Because they all tie in together, right? And what if you're married, to sit down with your spouse and kind of discuss what kind of sort of went wrong and what can be done to make the changes, because we cannot go into the new year and still repeat the same problem from 2022, right? And I think it's extremely important that we make time to do that, because at the end of the day, finance is only one component of our lives, right? It's a very important component, but it's not the only component. But to really sit down with your spouse and have a serious conversation about, the things you guys did well and what you can improve on in 2023. And then once you guys kind of have that together and you have that figured out, you can now begin to attack those areas one at a time or simultaneously, depending on your bandwidth, right? Now, when it comes to our finances, right, the W4 form is very important. Right? Obviously, withholding affects many areas of our lives, right? In my experience, a lot of times when I sit with clients, what I realize is that the withholding is not done properly, right? And because it's not done properly, there is more money that the IRS is taking out, which you can have back in your account to help you throughout the entire year, right? So a lot of times, if you try and do financial planning or being strategic, right, it's not about waiting to the end of the year, getting back a tax refund, and then paying off all the debts you accrued over the year, right? It's to making sure that you have selected your withholding properly, and then the IRS is taking what it needs to take, but yet still allowing you to have the maximum amount of money back in your pocket on a monthly basis, because you have a lot of bills on a monthly basis. You have a lot of plans you're trying to execute on a monthly basis, not just wait till one time in a year. So filling that form out is extremely important, right? Making sure, okay, how many children do you have, right? How many dependents do you have? Maybe last year you had 3 dependents. Maybe this year you have less. Maybe you have more, right? But if you don't make those adjustments, it can cost you definitely a lot of money. So, and sometimes you might overlook it, might think, oh, what is going to cost me? It's not that much, but it's actually quite a bit, So just really being mindful and making sure that you select those things that will benefit you and put you in the best financial position. I think it's extremely important. And I cannot stress it enough, So that's really where I want to start on and touch on. Like I said, as we go further, we can touch on it even more.
All right, thank you so much, Doc. I'm sorry, Senior Doc, also the amount of taxes is dependent on how we complete that W4. And that's every year, and it's really important as Doc mentioned, or as a family, no, or as an individual, so ube make sure say ube share with life changes. Nyoma akoso ewo life mo. Making no ebi oha nyame ye wadom 2022 you got married. If you got married, you need to make that changes, under that W4, no. Ebi oha nyame ye wadom. You had like a baby, or you had twins. Praise God. Said it's time for you to make those changes, with W4, no. Near there, because if you don't make those changes, some of these things, we take it for granted. But if you don't make those changes now, it will go a long way to hurt you in 2024 when it comes time for you to your friends and file for your taxes. And maybe your cry, bet me about say you had a dependent be like woba not that time, no, or fear he or she was depending on you. Nyamiadom, ebio hakoda na move out of your house. Or move out of your house, no. On one kasa sisi waye independent. On one kasa na ni bibia. Inti bear in mind is come 2024, no. This person were used to for so many years, no. Won't mean you see. So it is necessary for you for your W4 to reflect that changes, And yes, sir, and some would think, say, okay, Dr. Ewa has maybe 5 dependents. Now, come 2024, the reality is that Dr. Ewa didn't have 5 dependents. He only had 3 or 2 or 1 or even 4. But come 2024, this is when I need to prove it, say, I had all those dependents, near the yet for we want to re-emphasize this so many times, say it is time, say you make it those changes, and not just with holdings, but even the information crana fail, it could be say you moved from like one apartment to another apartment, or you bought a house, you move from here to point A. You need to make all those changes, those address changes, for accuracy as we go forward, And so this is some of the things we can do to prepare for like the beginning of the year, 2023. Something really minor, but vital, very important as we another thing, and Doug, before cry back into maybe if you have something else to add to it, you can do that before we get into a different.
No, I think you mentioned a lot of really, really great points. I mean, the W4 form, as we touched on earlier, it's very, very important to make sure you take time and you fill out the form properly. And if you need guidance, seek guidance to make sure that it's done properly, because every little bit of things you omit or leave out inadvertently can cost you money, right? And at the end, right now, nobody's interested in losing money, right? Because IRS would take what you allow them to take, right? So properly filling that form out, putting all those things, whatever has changed in your life that impacts your taxes, you want to make sure you put that on record. So you mentioned everything very, very well. So yeah, I don't have anything else to add.
Yeah, I'm so glad, sir. You touch on the point, and it's if you don't know how, seek professional help. These are some of the things that some of us we fail to do. So we force ourselves to complete it at the end of it, the form, your design form, sometimes we ridiculous some of the things you can't even understand what is on there.
Yeah.
So as Dr. Ewa said, and it's very important, if it's a one here, seek a professional help.
Yeah.
What tax preparer, because on situation, to me a guide what complete form what complete in
That's right.
Or like Obi, I just say so in the financial crown can help you. It is better that way, no dance one cause I'll be try so obey what dear now ube make a mistake. Yes, into yɛnhwɛ so. Another, moving on to today, dear, for Sunny Akan is just a general overview. But a be a question be will be you can call into 240-280-2633. And that's over to me sending on WhatsApp message 510-931-0946. Any question be will be no, just bring the question. We are here to help na yabua na no yabua. Another piece in so dog in say a be a yes right now no your bank account.
Yep.
Your bank account. Oh say 2022 or like we've had like bank accounts for so many years. We use it, pay our bills, save here and there, near there. Is it necessary, sir, beginning of the year, as an individual, as family, we need to review the different bank accounts that we have, and possibly even to either make changes or to just to leave it alone?
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
That's a very good question. That's something that I do every year for myself and my family. I review our various accounts and see what sort of changes we have to make, right? Because sometimes banks change policies. They may send you notifications, you may not get them, right? And you're going along like everything is the same thing. Maybe the bank made a change that could be affecting you negatively that you may not be aware of, right? But when you review an account, everything is right there. You are able to determine and understand what needs to be changed, right? For example, sometimes some banks may charge you no fee for having zero money in the account, right? Some banks do, some banks don't. So maybe your bank currently do not charge you a fee for having no money or having a little bit of money in your account. And all of a sudden, the following year, they change their policy. Hey, you have to have $100 minimum in the account, or we're going to charge you a maintenance fee of $8 a month, right? I've had countless clients that when they go through their statement, they see $8, $12 coming out every single month for a whole year that they never, was aware of. Right now, you might say, okay, well, I'm, $8 is not much, but over the course of time, it's an incredible change. It's a huge impact on your finances, right? So, but when you review those accounts readily or consistently, especially at the beginning of the year, you're able to see what changes are happening in your account, right? That you need to be able to rectify right away, because if not, it can affect you significantly, right? And also, sometimes you have monthly subscriptions that maybe you forgot about 2 years ago that you're no longer using, but yet you are still being debited each and every single month, right? If you don't review your account, you're not going to think about it because it's not in your, you're not cognizant of it, because out of sight, out of mind, right? If you're not thinking about it,
right,
and debiting your account it could be $50, $80, $20 every single month for a long period of time can compound to become a lot of money if you don't make changes right away, right? And sometimes you might have a gym membership that maybe you start going to that gym, or you thought maybe you delete your account a long time ago, but the account is still persistent. You're still paying for it every single month, right? So by going through your account, you're able to now see what's happening, right? Maybe sometime you had a subscription, you're paying maybe $40 a month. All of a sudden, it jumped to $80 a month. You didn't know, right? So if you don't review your account and you think everything's the same, it costs you significantly by not taking maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes, just review your account to make sure that everything is correct in your statement. So account review yearly is extremely important. I do mine every single week. One time I review my account. Because why? Sometimes things may pop up that I missed the previous week. But when I'm on top of it, I know exactly what's going on with my account. And I have multiple bank accounts because different banks give me different things that I need. Right? I always tell people, just like you diversify your investment, also think about diversifying your banking relationships. Right? Because some banks may offer you something that you may not need right now, but later on you may need. But then when you need it, you might not be able to join that bank. So maybe while you have those relationships, sometimes one bank might close your account without even giving you a reason why they close your account. If all your money's there, now you're waiting weeks to months to get your money out. But if you have different banking relationships, you're able to position yourself to be able to be able to weather whatever storm may come along the way, right? But you have to be very responsible in how you go about doing those things. Like I said, review your accounts. You may have 3, 4, 5 bank accounts. It doesn't matter. Review statements from all those accounts because you do not know what could have transpired since the last year or maybe since the last month or the last week, So that's what I want to add to that question.
Thank you so much, Doug. I'm saying you have a opportunity to answer my Penny Isaac Yama Akwaba. I know, sir, when you some technical glitches, but finally, what to me, I join here and see Yama Akwaba na yes, Yama Happy New Year. Penny Isaac, so what do you think?
Me pacho mete me nimze mo mote me nkande ya.
Yes, yeah, on can I say screen that freeze it, but yeah, on can.
Yeah, I'm saying me name what is going on.
Maybe
some networks. But I think they be
yeah, but I mean, we'll on their backlash, so that which is a good thing.
Okay,
yeah. So today, and what we are doing, we just doing like a general overview. So, beginning of the year, I mean, what do you do as an individual, as a family? What are some of the preparations that we need to do? So, the first thing I attach on, like W4 forms, it's really important. Obia we are employed ubenya the time na we review W4 near there. The second one, as you see, is reviewing our bank account. And Dr. Ua, I take the time to really give us some deeper insight into why it's necessary say you be review your bank account near there. Penny Isaac said, where if you can also share with us on your perspective, what the NTA here said, the beginning of the year, you been your time, na you review your bank accounts, the various accounts,
All right. I believe that definitely a very important. So say all businesses more people more friend of bank reconciliations. I monthly be our more years hard and most of the time you realize that you're able to find a normal be to say, oh, BBC quite like it's a whole lot of mistakes because bank for not almost mistakes. But individually in India, ideally, maybe a check na you did because Mayere was actually, and even though on your accountant and on your finance person, but also actually every single day she reviews her bank account. Now me, I'm a finance person coming to now the attendance a boy because quite recently musician me I may finance and not on your finance and musician. Although I was also to check your account. Like you really need to be on your account. And I agree with her. So I'm learning from her. And recently, I may check my account because say one year, now say you have 3 days, depending on volume of transactions in a number account. Say no, so dear, but say those one. You bet my phone so. May check here. I'm going to be at they didn't come and say peak was a dear and I'm saying really didn't one of my friend banks Tim is cabina nimbe is kind of tearfully after dear or more cars at minimum when I'm so Debbie And I'm like, okay, then we are going to, cancel your debit card and mail you another one. And I'm saying, please go ahead. And I'm cancel. I'm reverse this transaction. I'm also crediting me back. So there be one email said from Sam go for say, oh, are you no longer subscribing to our monthly magazine? And I'm saying, make come to me subscribe to the magazine. Whether I may have done it inadvertently or I never did anything, but
That's right. That's right.
At the end of the day, since I monitored the account, I was able to see it, and now, so more access to our debit card now. Yeah, cancel as a useful for. In the bank account, here daily, adding, but all the fashion teams in the Asaka for Dana Zanka. Mpaya be born in Kababo Abe kind as a guy bank account checking on 5 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah, Penyazi, there was I think say mobile ball and near Masua Ebabua yet for like beginning your can on said there are so many things you're taking for granted. Now, one of the things in fact a lucky within the African community and as Ghana for especially is like paying attention to your friends your bank account. Yen so long as say you call na ya swipe card na say insert na you approved na no. That's all what we care about.
Mm-hmm.
But says sometimes says sika or sika ni ho, it's not some of the things that we are looking at. No, but Dr. Wabo, some important so far. Sometimes there are some subscriptions be cry be or at stage be we don't even need them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yet Tisikano, and we are not even aware.
Mm-hmm.
Into taking the time to review Sanyo, it helps for us to know, sir. It could be $2, but think about it, $2 a month for 1 year. Also, your money say sika, but yeah, it adds up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it adds up. And you also mentioned sometimes they change or more policies maybe at different times near there. I quite remember your friend is some of especially like overdraft protection. One time it went from I think like $23 to like $37.
Yeah.
And if you don't review we are not saying sir your overdraft, but it may happen to anybody. Until it used to be 23, you know it now is 37. Until what plan who you say?
Yeah.
Do I really want to incur that fee, or I can possibly move things around and do that? And most of the times, it could be in say there is an overdraft protection or account, so but on my cancel. We don't know. Until here you are, we were store, what you grocery near the uko use car declined. Near there. It's something until when you say not just the beginning of the year, but consistently and constantly, you better take it time, to review our bank account and see, so changes be or what we need to make, then we'll make it. And another point, Doc, what the buyer so I just say very important. Say, yet here for yes, I who the fact is especially like credit unions. Sometimes you open up an account, there's not like any minimum deposit.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, they change some of these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here you are, a BOA, uko be and say $10. But now you're 100.
Yeah.
You are unable to keep $100 a minimum balance, So once you review this and see, sir, this is what is happening now, then it gives you the opportunity to either move to another bank or go there and ask for a different account. Maybe it doesn't incur those fees if I go beyond the minimum 90. Yet here for Sefin our journey, your premier financial advisory program, and your friends, Yadema. whatever we are doing here, Biano, is an advice. We hear full details near here. Please consult your financial the mao habi antino ebi or question be something we hear help with. You can call 240-280-2633 and also with me sending a message on WhatsApp 510-931-0946. You move on to another area. Another area, Penny Isaac, insurance. Say your car insurance. Say your life insurance. Whatever insurance be as individuals and families in the year one. Adentina, beginning of the year, and also not just the beginning of the year, but within the year, no, a year necessary, sir. You better review some of these things and to make sure, sir, we have like the right policies in place.
Yeah, I believe that one of the key reasons above already, so possible change in policy.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, now both is car insurance maybe now 200 after this is which are 130. So sometimes we won't be sending email but was a an email no and I say some document you can both say fine president and be was not there to baby who want to insurance in what now feel maybe a wabe from and more casas in and then to nothing every church room. And the me is a very important you be look out for some if there are any changes in policies near the day. If we receive emails in review in case it's addressing a change in policy. And one very important thing I also you can pay attention to it. Assuming if you have car insurance and as if any other form of insurance, you know. Also, insurance premiums when they operate on risk levels. If it's a risk level very high, normally you end up paying high. Maybe fancy beer. Nyame maybe what the tickets will be Nyame maybe or accidents, you know, some of those stuff. Most of the time, not quite by the end of the year. After some time, like I think I know more some time, a year, like with me, say, Nyame or do not say be as a only ticket for a period of time, and I say be a accident for a period of time. You are able to call your insurance and renegotiate with them. So you say, my risk level is high, low right now, and I say be a first maybe only garage, so your car was maybe susceptible to ABS if you're able to make bubbles, so snow bit more to so bit more to us. They say, oh, garage, a bit to do car shame. No, it counts as a reduction in your risk level. So you're able to call your insurance company and renegotiate and tell them that because of this and this and that, you know, they should bring your premium down. And while you are doing that, you know, you also shop around. You know, talk to other insurance companies because some might be willing to charge you a lower premium. And these are reasons why they're very important. Say bit me. Am I arguing your point? And yes, sometimes you see a document review, but you pay attention. You arguing area no, and start reviewing it by looking at some of these things that I even a bit my already existing premium to a bit me.
Yeah, Penny Isaac, there was a for your friend saying this very important information. What share with us, no? Say, you did can some of us, no, fancy your car insurance. A be a while, your talk car na your insurance and one, na your Janice, what we are hoping is a bad time for renewal, then no insurance company for no more renewal my and now yeah, whatever be a kind insurance no crown, we don't even know. Nyamimpengu ebi oha wunya accident. This is the time when insurance for no catcher or say ade we na wuni into no okra no wunya covered ade we ho. Insurance kra no ebi oha wuni car rental wom into accident na wanya no you are on your own. These are some of the little things a war insurance more a necessary sir. At least a bad time for renewal be an as a beginning of the year ubenya daje. Now I share some of these things in a war insurance a be a year will deductible infant accident ba wunu obi konya accident wo no betua out of pocket. Making some insurance companies be or in order for them say a cheaper policy what they do is no my did that abone kakraka ebi 1,000 ebi 1,005 na amount premium no abafem. But the question I will be yebisa when say nyamimpengu accident bi besisi do I have 1,000 and now say 1,500 out of pocket metua na yetumi affect me car na yetumi affect the other person in the car no amano. Se bi o ha minisa sika no wo e wo ha then no ehu hia say so ye review na make sure say the deductible way no are comfortable enough for us. Say 500, say 250, or if you want to do less se BBCCC I say na easily no ye bet to me afford. Some of the things I say assign the coverage in ankasa ye no to make sure say we are fully covered because it will surprise you to know say you move your cars are driving a bit of liability insurance and your full coverage, but your dream when you free say or full coverage, but if you need full coverage. So what can we do? We look at San Nyoma way as you review the policies a bow some of these things in idea way me war. Ade we kura bi o me wo metua ho sika but ebi o ha ehu hia nti ma menye mfrim ade we meni me de ka ho a ebeboa me nti ma memfa enka ho. A typical example would be your glass in fact a windshield, let me put it that way, windshield there was some coverage, some insurance coverage bi o ha one free windshield replacement every year. Inti say me car, me windshield I used to see I say now the insurance will replace it for me for free. The question is say me bisa some of these questions we need to review it and ask, say, do you offer this? They will tell you say yes or no. No one can say who say, is this something, this is the route that I need to go or not? Inti yetefo we there yes ne say bomodin I know say it's a lot of work, but the bomodin take some time and review some of this information. So what there ufri say wunni hu nimdie kra yesraw pobia onim hu nimdie na ono ntena se maybe 10-15 minutes na wow. It is best to have the best coverage now than to wait to say ubenya accident na akofa ensembebre no ede abro. Nti ya besre say na no ya behye esa eyinenso. Nti Penny Isaac am say you're back close to your friend say your time nti what we'll do is there were several things that maybe next week we can look as an overview as we begin the year into some of these things in the so far insurance your W4 and your bank account if you have any additional information be a be benefit ye tiefo ye besre na wa share with us.
Okay, I'm saying no money there say ye cause kasem there no more be and I believe that one of the key things, mostly some of the things that we've talked about, I know that there's a lot to talk about, but one of the key things is also it's me pay attention to, and it's you can't budget on once. I think that the summary and as it be one key takeaway you beat me account once and while we are beginning the year and say we have to try to live within our means. Because if we do not live within our means, if we live according to the standards of society and also the standards of other people, we might end up in so much debt to say, and why my financial plan the chances say if you have so much debt, they be now I stress. Now and more even the benefit of financial plan education because otherwise what there's all plans at the end so go DBS can buy a company so let's try and live within our means. And I feel sir, okay, along the line and you didn't come off as kasem no na ye kasa nyeze bia o store a bia koko hu say bia ye sira na kotam suit be 4 and 5 now the credit card tree but meanwhile so bia na unhye da here so and as it be a who say the be a bishop for bear you man say the bishop for bar so it was also question for you don't have to live according to the standards of other people. Let's live within our means as decent as we could and manage our finances because it's better to keep your finances in order and not necessarily show off to the public and have your peace of mind with less stress than to be stressed and appear as you are doing okay.
That's in fact what summarize in my year na Dr. Charles Boyson say yes, it can be painful when you have to pay as much as 1,000 as deductible. Face similar situation due to some flooding in our house. Yes, and no na yeah can say ubenya da January review some of these things. Ebi are making 1,000 some people are yesika, but some people when you are faced with that challenge, at that very moment, who say 1,000, they are coming up with 1,000, can be very, very painful. Now is the time, sir, yebenya daje na ye review, ye nyoma nyami ya domo next week, yebetwa so with our overview, na as we begin the year, some of the things ye put in place before we get deeper into the year. Na yakan wasem. Penny Isaac, nyame enshira bebre for your time when you marry. Dr. Wu so nyame enshira for your time so and you marry until say next week, nyame ya adomo a yebesan aba na yede yedwumade aba nyame enhyira ye hina till say be share next week yakra mo imre demose